as immigrants cross our borders daily, more questions arise about what will become of them. It all starts with the immigration law of the United States. This morning, to put it into perspective, Javier Diaz, a Brownsville-based immigration attorney, is here to explain all about it. So good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Thank you. Good. How are you?
Great.
Thanks so much for being with us. And obviously, we were talking a little off camera about this situation. What are you seeing now in your office? How many numbers of people are coming to you for help?
Well, I can tell you that when it comes to children, the local immigration attorneys don't see those children right now, okay? Because these children are coming over. The law requires CBP within 72 hours once they identify somebody that is a minor that is by himself,
Right.
to process him, to find out who he is, check him with databases, and then release him to one of the offices that they have that is in charge of finding these children a place to stay while they go through the immigration process.
And they're called sponsors, is that correct?
Yeah, there are sponsors. There's organizations that have been, specifically deal with that kind of cases. But it's like in any case when you have a child, you need to, an 8-year-old, you cannot just give it to somebody without having to do a background check to find out who that person it is. If there are parents here, there is family, you need to locate the family and then do the proper searches to make sure that that is a family member. And then you ask that person that person says, I want to take care of that child while he's in the United States, and they go through the process of going through an immigration hearing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand that the United States has treaty obligations. There's laws that apply for this type of children that they need to follow in order to see whether that child can stay, whether he meets the criteria of being a refugee, or why he's here in the United States.
Right.
And that is something that that I know that people get a little bit frustrated. Say, well, what are we doing with these children? Well, the thing is that these are children that are coming as a country. We have obligations to make sure that those children get processed properly.
We were looking at some numbers earlier. 97% apparently is the return. A lot of people that are taken, a lot of immigrants are not coming back. 97% of them don't come back, according to Border Patrol. You're telling me that those numbers are not necessarily correct.
I mean, I don't think that was a Border Patrol statement. That is a representative from the Border Patrol Union that is giving his statement that first of all he's applying that statement without really giving any basis. We're talking about children. This is something that has never really happened on the numbers we are seeing. So probably the numbers he's saying is about maybe 10 years ago there used to be a program where people was called catch and release, where they will give them an NTA, they wouldn't show up to court.
Right.
Maybe he's talking about those numbers. We were talking about those adult people that came into the United States and that they were under different circumstances. We are talking about children 8, 7 years. Most of the reports show that children are under the age of 10. So for them to assume that they're not going to show up to court, there are different laws that apply for children that don't apply for grown-ups. So there is different protection that children have. So I think that what is the solution? To keep those children detained for 6 months until you find a way to move them back to the country and go through the process? I don't think that it's not only in the best interest for the child, but it's also in the best interest of the government to have to take that responsibility of having those children for 6, 9 months while you go through the process of finding. That would cost more money than it's actually already costing.
Right.
At a human crisis that you really have to deal with it like it is. Children that we need to find a way to process.
You obviously know the law very well when it comes to immigration. What, quickly, we have about 20 seconds, what would be your solution to this? I know that's a very big question.
Well, it's just finding, just remember that there are children, that there are laws in place, that we cannot just assume that they're here because somebody told them there will be a way for them to stay here permanently. If they're coming over here, there is some big reasons for them. So we need to process them, like you would process any children, and just be patient. We need to work on solutions how to stop them from coming more to the United States. But that is something that you can not solve from one day to another.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time. We truly appreciate you being here and giving us a little more perspective in the situation of the immigration crisis